Hello and welcome to White Men Can't Pod. I'm your host Ryan. I'm here with my two compadres, Bill and Wally. What's up?
Hello.
It's episode.
I don't know.
You just creeped Bill out with that one.
Yes.
Didn't appreciate that.
I don't know what that was. Hello. Were you Kramer?
Oh yes, I'm gonna do that from now on. I won't remember.
Now I'll know.
I will.
Yeah.
I will not remember.
I will, because I'll be on the lookout for it.
You're gonna do that same voice every time?
Yeah, I'll try.
But that wasn't even a good Kramer. That was just a weird.
it was not a
off-putting
Kramer.
voice.
It was just.
He wasn't trying to do a Kramer, but it just came out that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's episode 27 again, or is it 28? I don't know.
This is 28 now.
Is this
we
28?
are on 28.
I'm starting a new cycle of 3
for
28.
For the last four
That's how I
episodes,
try
I
to
think
remember.
I've said it's episode 27, but
Yep.
no, it's
You
finally 28.
but you didn't say it last week when it was
you
episode
said it was
27.
28 last week.
Yeah.
Did I? Yeah. Okay. All right. For Love of the Game is the movie this week. After 19 years of playing the game, he's loved his whole life. Detroit Tigers pitcher Billy Chappell has decided if he's going to risk everything, has decided if he's going to risk everything and put everything out there. That's a really weird.
Has
That's a
to
bad
has
tagline.
to decide if he's going to risk
Yeah.
everything.
Wow.
And put everything out there.
Still not a good tagline.
Not a good
No,
tagline.
no.
This one I chose because Wally only randomly, in air quotes, selects baseball movies for me.
It is not my fault. This is
You
the
get the
worst.
but those are the
website.
best movies. Those are the best sports movies.
It's true. There are a lot of really good sports movies.
Too many good
based on baseball.
baseball sports
This
movies.
was interesting in that it wasn't the big game at the end was the climax. The entire movie is a single game,
I love that.
Yeah.
which was just it's weird, but it was.
No,
It works. It
I-
works.
I
This is
does
the way
work.
they do it.
I really like.
I
that.
wish there was a little bit more of the game. Maybe a little like the
Yeah.
story to game ratio was a little,
off.
Okay.
but
I thought the opposite when I was first watching. It could have been because I was high and everything lasts like 10 times longer when, when you're doing that. But I was like, why is this taking so long? It's only inning 2? But then they were in love for like 45 minutes. And I'm
Right.
like, wait, there's still a game going on.
you know,
What did I miss?
Mm-hmm.
it was more a love story about a baseball play with a baseball player than it was about the game. But it was well done the way they put it together.
But it's
It
it's
is,
about-
though, because he
it's-
says
yeah.
he's in love with the game more than he's in love with Kelly
and
Preston.
it's all
He
about
kind of
his.
says that to her a lot.
Yeah.
It's all about his like decision to.
You ever love
finally-
something? Yeah, you.
You, yeah.
No, I don't. Not like that.
No, I mean like baseball.
I
It's
mean,
something real.
I mean, like I like baseball.
She could have also said, my daughter too. Yeah. Like,
yeah, no, she didn't say that.
nope.
How'd
Right.
you first see For Love of the Game?
Yesterday, because of this
Okay.
podcast.
Last week because of this podcast.
Saturday because of this podcast. Except for, I remember seeing like one at bat on TV of like, oh, why is Kevin Costner pitching? This is weird.
So,
Like I remember seeing like one exchange, but I've never seen this all the way through. Not even close.
now we've done Field of Dreams, but he doesn't really play baseball in that except for a little bit at the
Got a
end.
little catch.
Would you say, Wally, that this is Kevin
Did you
Costner's
just
best
poo-poo?
baseball movie?
Was that a poo-pooing of Field of Dreams? What was that?
Because you're right, he doesn't play baseball in it.
It is still a baseball movie.
It is a
There
baseball movie. Yeah.
Would you say though that this is the best, whether we've watched it or not, Kevin Costner's best baseball movie?
No, not fucking even close. What are you talking about?
It's just the two of
Fine,
them.
it's
is
a
it not?
fine movie.
Is that he's only done the 2 baseball movies.
Oh,
Right?
okay,
Get out of
okay.
here. No, come on.
What?
It's my favorite movie. Bull Durham is my favorite movie.
We haven't watched
Wait.
that?
He's in Bull Durham too?
Yes.
He's the guy in
Oh,
Bull Durham.
he's the main guy.
Well,
I haven't
Tim-
watched Bull Durham in another like 6 years.
I want to say
7
Tim
years,
Robinson, and no, that's not right.
Tim Robbins.
Thank
yeah,
you.
you're right. Tim Robbins.
But Kevin Costner's like the main guy, really.
He's the catcher.
Isn't-
He's the catcher.
Tim Robinson is
Tim
the,
Ro-
the
he's
funny-
the- I think you should leave.
The hot dog suit.
There was
we
a
all want to figure out who did this, guys.
yeah. There was a reference to Tim Robinson in the last Ted Lasso,
Oh, really?
which I thought was weird.
It is
Like
weird.
that is too meta.
Yeah.
Like you're both making comedy shows. You can't do that.
That is one of the. I think you should leave. Which did Mike introduce us to that? I
yeah.
think?
Yeah.
That is something that I've bonded with Dan Carroll over the last year or so.
Oh, he likes
he
that?
loves it.
Oh, it's work.
He
It's
would-
fucking,
he'll
there's
talk
more.
about it and be like,
He's
I've
doing
actually
more.
seen that.
He's doing more.
I know they're filming it.
Yeah. All right. So we haven't seen this movie.
No.
Time for some games.
Yeah, we'll start
You wanna
with
put us through our paces here.
with the budget game. Comes with a little controversy
Okay.
because normally I just pull the budget out of Wikipedia,
Sure.
but then I got the feeling that you guys are pulling it out of IMDb.
I was.
Yes.
So I checked them both. Same budget I'm sorry, same box office,
Different
but
budget.
widely different budgets.
Which one are you going with?
I've got them both here, so let's see what you guys say, and then maybe I won't even have to make a distinction.
It's got to be. It's a 1999 movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Costner
Yeah, it does.
after doing like
99
things.
Costner, yeah.
Yeah, 99 Costner's got to cost money.
At this
It's
point,
got-
J.K. Simmons is just the every guy.
Just a guy.
He wasn't super famous yet.
Neither is what's his face?
John C. Reilly was not a
Reilly's
comedian
not
yet.
famous
No,
yet.
he was nothing. Yeah.
But it
He
does
was in a
have,
lot. He also was in a lot of stuff.
does have
Yeah.
Vin Scully, and it does have
Does
Steve
have Vin Scully.
Lyons, and it does have Brian Cox.
Who's Steve Lyons? Is he the other announcer?
He's the other announcer, and it has
Is he a
Kelly.
real guy?
It has
Like-
Kelly. Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
It has Kelly Preston,
Now,
who was like
again, I probably should know
a
what she's
big
been
deal in
in.
the 80s.
I recognize the name, but I didn't know what else she was from. But she was
Yeah.
in Jerry Maguire.
Yep. Battlefield Earth.
Of course, Battlefield Earth. A movie I did see at least once.
We
in
definitely
college.
saw it
Many times, I think.
many times.
And Cat in the Hat. She was mom.
She's since passed away.
You know what's really
Really?
She's since passed
Wow,
away.
that's
She died in
terrible.
2020.
what's really sad is that her known four movies, Battlefield
rough,
Earth
rough.
and The Cat in the Hat,
Yeah.
Rough.
together make 6.5
Yeah,
stars.
Cat in the Hat fucking sucks. That
Yeah.
movie stinks.
It's bad.
Who was-
And Battlefield.
who's the
Battlefield
head?
Earth is like one of the worst movies
It's
of
a
all time.
movie, all right.
Who was the cat? in
They
Cat in the
filmed
Hat?
it.
Was that?
It was what's his face? Shrek.
Jim Carrey.
Oh, Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Either way,
Eesh.
bad movies.
Is it weird that I just know him as Shrek now, not as Mike Myers?
What I think
Yeah,
is funny about
especially
Shrek
instead
is,
of Austin Powers.
yeah, but his voice for Shrek is the voice used as the father character in So I Married an Ex-Murderer, which is perhaps his funniest movie. Probably
might be.
Austin
Might
Powers,
be.
but So I Married an Ex-Murderer is, at least as I remember it, is so very funny.
When we
And then the Shrek / Fat Bastard
are the same.
is
yeah.
also his Scottish father in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yep.
I remember seeing Austin Powers 2 and thinking it's the funniest fucking thing on the planet.
I think you
Yeah.
guys watched that at my house.
I haven't watched
we went to the
Austin
theater.
Powers in
We went
years,
to
but
the
I feel like I
theater
should
for it.
rewatch them because I love
We
them.
may have
You
watched it again.
One of them. Yeah.
And I remember loving that first movie. I watched
Yeah.
it so much. And now if you watch those, they're so fucking
Oh
weird.
my God, they're
They're
bad.
kinda
Are they
weird.
really?
Oh, they're
They're
so
weird.
bad.
Even like the third one, I remember. being
Kelly
like,
Preston
eh.
was in Twins.
Oh, Twins! I saw
fun
half
one?
of that
It's
recently.
a fun one.
I've never seen Twins. Nope.
I feel like you would like it, Wally. I feel like
fun
it's a Wally one-time watch thing you would enjoy on like a Saturday afternoon or whatever.
She was in Chips.
I'll give it a
One
try.
episode of Chips.
because it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito as twins.
Oh, yeah,
so you
yeah.
can't really go wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's fantastic.
Pretty fucking good. All right, what's the budget game? We got to guess the budget, right?
Yeah.
That is the game.
Okay, go ahead, Wally. Do you have to go first?
Damn.
Well, this one doesn't matter.
All
It
right.
doesn't matter
All right. Well, that originally we were trying to fucking come up with the budget, so I would say Wally has to guess first.
I'll say 30 million.
30 million. Okay.
I think I'm way too low, but
30 million.
Well, I think you might be a little high.
oh.
Yeah, that seems high. Although Costner probably cost like 8 million. Yankee Stadium.
Because that's
That's probably
Yankee
money.
Stadium.
That's some money right there. You have to do the whole thing in Yankee Stadium, but they're not doing anything else. Just one game in Yankee Stadium. Give me 25 million.
So 25, and you said 30?
yeah.
We're
Odd bet, but
both
okay.
under.
You are both under.
All right,
so
I win.
Wally wins.
Ah,
The ones that I think has to be too high was an estimated 80 million.
that can't
that
be
can't
right.
be.
That cannot be
The
right.
other more reasonable budget,
Yeah.
$50 million.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
So
What
with
is-
$50 million budget
What?
in mind, let's move to the box office.
okay, $50 million. What was that? The fake blood during his woodworking accident? Where did that money come into play?
Costner.
The helicopter?
Costner and Vince Scully.
The helicopter thing? How much could Vin Scully cost?
To get him
And
to
you
not
said-
be a Dodgers
You said
announcer?
this is 99, so yeah, you know Steinbrenner's. Oh, you got to pay me all my money.
That's probably
maybe.
true.
So I'm gonna.
That's how they bought Scott Brocious.
Oh, wait.
They paid for Scott Brocious with this movie.
Man, I used to... No, well, Brochus I didn't like. Paul O'Neill was one I really hated.
Oh.
You didn't like Scott Brocious?
No, he was weird and annoying.
He was good.
He did barehand every ball that
Oh,
was hit.
He
at
never
him.
said
The
He
anything.
never used his glove.
the best
That's what I
barehander.
think bothered me is he
Oh,
never
is that what
bothered
it
to
was?
use his glove.
Why bother? You don't need to.
You're Scott Brocious. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Best bare hand throw to first.
Who was the dumb outfielder that they had at that time that was kind of tiny? So anytime he was trying to make a hard throw, he would fall over. He would just throw himself on the ground.
Oh,
Shane Spencer?
No. He was a little guy.
Randy Velarde?
No. I'll come up with it.
Gerald Williams?
No. It's a white guy.
but I'm gonna go with 45 million.
Ooh, so you're saying
A
they
loss?
lose money.
I think they lose money on
Ooh.
this.
78 million.
Wow, you win.
Whoa!
46.1 million.
baby, that's real close.
This is a massive
It
disaster.
was a disaster. Their opening week. Let me see if I have it here. Because their opening.
Are you telling me Costner in a baseball movie did not do well?
When did it open?
opening weekend.
Jesus.
The weekend of September 19th, 1999, made 13 and change.
That's
bad.
Is bad.
Do you know what was going up against?
Bad.
I have no idea.
Must have been
let's see
some
if I can
hardcore
figure
shit.
that out.
The Matrix came out in 1999. It might
Chad
be that.
Curtis, a Yankees outfielder.
Chad Curtis was.
Yeah, I think it was that idiot I used to hate. Because anytime he was trying to
Idiot.
throw a guy out at home, he would jump up in the air and fall on the ground like a dummy. Just fall over so you could see he put literally everything into that.
Stop being a dummy.
Fight Club, American Beauty,
Fight. Okay.
Ow.
yeah.
being
Ouch.
John Malkovich. Apparently, these are September
Was it-
1999.
I was listening
movies.
to something that
They're all the
touched
same
on
month as this movie.
American Beauty.
Oh wait.
When did this movie come out?
The Sixth Sense. That's what was the big.
Ouch.
Big, yeah.
It was going against some fucking
That-
bangers.
Domestic box office
Oh.
for September 99. The Sixth Sense was the highest one, and it was release date August 9th or August 6th. So they had a full month or two, and it was still the highest.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Not good numbers.
Bull Durham is not the only other.
Stigmata.
No, he's got other ones.
Bull
right?
Durham is not the only other
He's got a few.
Costner baseball movie.
Yeah, I can't
He has
remember,
another
but
one,
he's got, like-
Chasing Dreams.
Oh, I don't know that one, but
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
I've never
how
seen
many
that
is
one.
that?
That's a 3.2.
So that's what four.
So we will have to watch it at some point.
four
Yeah,
baseball
eventually.
movies. Jesus.
That's
Did he?
4 baseball movies.
Plus 10 cup at least.
Tin Cup, Draft Day.
Oh, we're definitely gonna do 10 cup.
Draft day. Is that
Draft
football?
day.
Yeah. Draft day.
Draft Day.
I don't think I've seen draft.
I've
Day.
not seen it.
Oh,
I have not.
it's a like.
It was at the Browns, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's the.
I remember
Browns. He's the
everything I heard
Browns.
about being like, this is awful.
Yeah, it's so. It's not a bad movie. Maybe you'll disagree, but I feel like it's not a bad movie, but it's a really dumb draft thing.
Okay.
Like it takes you so out of it. Like this would never happen. This is so stupid.
I can see that.
But the movie's fun.
Having just barely watched a draft, I can see that.
Okay.
I used to love draft.
Why do you not love drafts?
I just
They're boring.
don't care anymore.
I fucking love
I would
drafts.
rather, I would
What do
rather
you
just
don't care.
They're
scroll
boring.
through it when it's done and click on the names I actually am interested in.
Yep.
You weren't
Like,
excited to see
Did you know
Will
that
Levis fall?
moron, stupid idiot, dummy Bill Belichick drafted both a kicker and a puncher this year?
I did see
He
that.
drafted
yes.
both.
Yep.
Sure.
And then I was like, oh, I can't read.
He's a
like,
genius, Bill.
I want to see what people have to say about him, and I clicked on one recap on ESPN
They loved it.
that said it was genius, and I'm like, well, I don't want to read any more recaps on this
love
website.
ESPN's the fucking worst.
It
so.
is the worst. It's just so convenient, but it's so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
All right.
Should we probably get into this movie?
Sure.
guess so.
Why not?
Oh wait, do you want to do the?
Yeah, we'll do the war just because
Do an eBay
unfortunately I
war?
couldn't find a good one to fit in.
Oh yep.
So
There's just-
there's two pictures here.
Yeah. Okay. This is a shitty poster.
Okay, so
that is not a real signature.
it's a signature. Is it a Costner? No, unfortunately not.
It's
So it
not
must
a
be a Kelly
Costner?
Preston, right?
It's John
No.
C. Riley.
It's director Sam Raimi.
Sam
gonna
Raimi.
say- that was the other thing. I couldn't believe.
Could not
that
believe
Sam
that he
Raimi
was-
did this movie.
See,
believe
it's definitely a
it.
name I know, but I don't know why I know.
He
it.
did Evil Dead, right?
I think
did
so.
all
He
the
did
Evil
Spider-Man,
Deads. He did
the
all the
Tobey Maguire
Spider-Mans.
ones.
with the dance and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, he did that one. Most recently, I think he did Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Well,
which
he
is
did
an
this too.
interesting movie. So yeah, this made no.
He's
sense.
got like a wide fucking
This
range.
made no sense that he would direct this, but okay.
Okay, so this is Sam Raimi signed for the love of the game 12x8 photo Aftall.
What does that mean?
What is
It's an
Aftol?
acronym for something.
Okay.
Didn't look it up. Don't care.
Nice.
Okay. Item description from the seller. You are viewing a 12x8 photo signed by director Sam Raimi. This item will be tagged on the reverse with a tamper-proof online COA, Certificate of Authenticity,
That's
Thanks for clarifying.
sticker. See below for more details. Exact signing details will be provided on the online COA. Date of signing, April 26th, 2022. So this is just over a year old.
This is a real shit signature, by the way.
I
It
am
is.
Aftol registered dealer number 190. Rack trusted seller number 170. And then there's a lot of about the author type things that I'm guessing you don't want me to read.
No, please,
please
Do you want to know how online COAs work? Because I
No.
can tell you.
Nope, that's okay.
Nope. Nope.
Then that's it. What do we got for Sam Raimi's signature on this 12x8 photo? Which, yes, this is a weird photo.
It's real shit, and it's
And
a
it's-
shit photo.
And it's not a real signature. It's
It's a
just
sh-
Sam Raimi, like,
It's a
Yeah.
scribble, and it's a real
Is
shit
it a
poster.
Is it a poster or is it just a picture?
it's a 12x8 photo.
Photo.
If you want to
It
call
is
that
a
a poster,
photo.
feel
That's
free.
not a
But it's
poster.
12x8.
It's a 12x8 photo that he signed, and clearly he's embarrassed by this movie based on this signature alone.
Now, the
That's what I'm
price
saying.
was in, I will
Like,
give
fuck
you,
this movie. I'm scribbling this shit.
it was in,
Why are you giving me this to sign?
Why this?
What
Why-
was wrong
Look at
with
my
you?
career. Why this?
this is in pounds, but there is an approximate US value we'll use for this game.
Give me
Okay.
$12.
Interesting. Now, I'm terrible at signatures.
I would like to say $13 and just fucking end this right now, but I will say $100.
No fucking way is this.
So you say 100, you say $12.
Yes.
Should have just said 13.
If you said 13, you definitely would have won.
Oh, god damn it.
But you said 100. You're much better signatures than me.
Yeah.
Ryan, you were closer than Wally.
Okay, but not by a
Wally,
lot.
you won.
Wait, what? Oh, come on!
Approximately US $94.25.
What the flying fuck is that?
$94,
What?
Wally.
How do you win on that?
Picture.
How do you win on $94 on a 12x8? Good grief. This guy doesn't give a shit about this movie based on this scribble. This movie isn't that bad. We're going to go through it in a second.
You go to $100 then?
I know,
autograph?
because I was going to say 13, but autographs usually go for like
And
200.
you know, as you count, it goes 11, 12, 13, 100. There's nothing in
Yes.
between.
You know I've never been good at math. All right. Are you ready to go
That
through
makes
this?
it Ryan 5, me 4.
Oh, closing
I
up.
thought I
And
was killing you.
You were. It was 5-3 before.
That's not killing.
That's killing.
And we just got
in
tied up, I
eBay-
think.
In
Simple
eBay
two-
Wars,
it's
that's
a simple
killing.
2-game lead. Okay.
All right, where were we? Okay.
Wow.
So we open with a montage. Oh, I didn't fix anything in here. We open with a montage of a young Billy Chappell, naturally, like any other baseball montage. It's
Okay.
mostly him playing baseball with his dad.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a lot of this movie review saying, was I too high or did this go on forever?
It seemed to go on forever.
Okay, thanks.
It did, but I
It
feel
seemed
like,
like it went on
I
forever.
feel like a lot of opening credit montages go on for way too long.
They do, especially back then.
What is this? If
Especially
you were
back
watching
then.
this movie and The Matrix was next door, what would you do?
Just walk over.
Just fucking bounce.
Having
Based on
recently,
this intro.
within the last year, I watched all 3 Matrix movies.
Oh, they all suck except
The
for
first
the first
one is still very good.
No, it's
Yeah.
excellent. First one's great.
Second one is
Trash.
terrible. Third one is passable, but not good.
The second one
But the first one holds up, oddly enough.
the second one ending on a cliffhanger. I remember going to the theater to see it and being like, well, this fucking sucks because I'm not going to see the next one for 3 years and
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to happen.
I don't remember how the second one ended.
It ends with is it Mr. Smith comes into the real life in someone
yeah.
else's body or something like that, and then it just
And
Neo's
they're
knocked
talking
out,
about like
and it's just
going
over.
to war
and that's
or
how it
something,
ends.
right? Yeah.
We don't see any like resolution at all. It's just like to be continued.
Was that the one where he fought like 1,000 Mr. Smiths? And
That was the last one.
Oh, that's the last one. Okay.
I think is it
I think
all? of
so.
them? Does
I
he
don't
fight 1,000 Mr.
Having
Smiths
watched
and
them in the
all?
last year,
don't know.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
The
This is a
second
movie
time.
about baseball.
Yeah, let's go back to the baseball.
All right, so he's playing baseball with his dad. We see that he was signed by the hometown Detroit Tigers. It seemed like maybe I don't remember.
I guess.
And he becomes a star, which they solely throughout the movie go like he made the team. He's been playing on the team for a long time. He's a good pitcher. He's an all-star. he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. They like slowly build up that
Yeah.
he's had a great career.
Is that a problem for you in this movie where it's like he's going to be in the Hall of Fame for sure? Like, how
No.
much do I need to feel sorry for you if you're a Hall of Fame for sure 19-year career? Like,
Well, why am I feeling sorry for him?
Yeah, I don't.
this
I
lady
never felt
broke
sorry
up
for
with him, and he's
Like for
team
me, the
sucks.
whole for me the whole movie is he going to retire,
Right, or
like
get traded.
or is he gonna is he gonna accept the fate of getting traded, or is he gonna accept the fate of not playing anymore? And I was kind of curious. I was on the fence of whether he would,
Right.
do that, or if he would even get his perfect game.
Essentially, he Kobe'd. It's like Kobe. What did Kobe score? 65 in his last
in his
game?
last
Yeah, yeah,
It's essentially a Kobe right now.
a little better, I'd say.
It's 65 in a game. It's pretty good.
Perfect game.
Yeah. Okay.
So we start the actual movie with a plane ride with the team, and Gus Sinski, John C. Riley, who we'll find out is this catcher, is basically saying like, "Hey, the season's over, man. Like you're hurt. You don't need to pitch. Like this game doesn't matter. We're terrible." And he says like, "It matters to the Red Sox." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on your side now."
Except
Well,
for-
actually, at that point, I thought he was playing against the Red
Yeah.
Sox.
So did I.
So
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
But he basically says like they want me to pitch, so I'm going to pitch. And then John C. Riley says something like, "If I see you wince even one time," and he just goes, "Ugh, I've got the ugliest wife in the league."
Ah,
And Gus says, "That hurts. You hurt my feelings. Buckle your seatbelt." And he does. He buckles the seatbelt. We then go to a hotel where Billy's waiting for one Miss Aubrey, who we'll find out is Jane. Everything's got to be perfect. He's got some weird date night thing lined up in his hotel room, which I guess just cut out the middleman. Smart.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be perfect. And then we slowly find out she's not coming, and he drinks the bottle of champagne. Then he reads the mini bar, and he just gets hammered drunk and puts his arm in the
I like that part.
champagne thing to ice it.
Yep.
So the next morning he's in bad shape, and Gus comes to wake him up and find out, and he's like, "Are you all right, man?" Yeah, I'm fine.
You got a pitch today, dude.
Yeah. It's like, "I'm fine." Mr. Wheeler shows up. Mr. Wheeler, we learn, is the team owner,
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox. Yep. And he sits him down and says, "I need to tell you, it's the least kept secret or whatever in the league, but except now it's official. I'm selling the team." And then he's like, the new owners have told me that their first move is going to be to trade you to the San Francisco Giants." And then, like a real jerk, like owners are, he says, "You should retire. I don't care enough about you to hold on to the team, but you should retire."
You should retire.
Well, it seems like he was physically, or like he was financially unable to hold on to the
No,
team.
he said like, "I don't like this game anymore."
He said he didn't like the game
Yeah, he's like,
anymore.
"This
and
game
his kids
stinks."
don't care about it.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, "I was going to give it to my kids. They don't want
Which, can you imagine your dad owning a baseball team and you not caring about it?
it." No, I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine.
Like
that.
even I would care.
even
about
if
it.
you
Even
didn't
if you don't like baseball,
give a
yeah.
fuck about baseball,
He wants to give you a baseball
yeah.
team.
Okay.
All right, I'll have somebody else run the damn thing for me.
Yeah. Great. I'll be in the background.
But
Just-
yeah, I just thought it was weird that he's like, "I'm selling the team, so you should probably retire."
Well, I did like that he mentioned, during all the negotiations, they didn't say anything about wanting to trade.
I didn't know they were going to trade you, but
yeah.
like, come on, of course they're going to fucking. They got to blow it up.
Right.
This team sucks.
And he says like, "I don't know." And then as he's like thinking about it, he gets the message that Jane is there downstairs waiting for him. So he like pops up and is like, "I don't know, I got to think about it," and leaves. Gets downstairs just in time to find like, "Oh yeah, she was here," and then immediately turned around and left.
What a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we find out.
Throughout the movie, I find
makes-
out I don't
makes
really
more
care for either
sense.
one of these two.
No,
But
the relationship is the worst part of this
yeah,
movie.
it is.
Yeah.
So he chases her, finds out she's at Central Park.
Which,
Okay, just tell the
How-
fucking guy you want to break up.
how does he find her
How?
in Central Park?
That's their spot.
He go no,
No, I don't-
we never see that.
No,
we
we
never
don't.
see that.
We don't
so
see
we
that.
don't
And
know that.
of
for
course,
sure.
she's just randomly at
Having
the baseball
never been
diamond.
to
She's just-
Central
yeah.
Park, maybe it's not that big. I don't know.
She wants him to find her
Like,
in this weird way.
If someone told me she's at Weston Park in Cohoes, I could figure it out. I could find you in Weston Park.
Okay,
Where is West End Park in Cohoes?
Near my house. Near my parents' house.
Oh, the one
That
across,
one. The one
basically
with the
across from
military
the
shit.
the. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. The big long one in the middle. Yeah.
I never knew the name of that park.
I
West
had
End.
no idea that's
It's
the,
West End
yeah.
Park, yeah. It's always been that, obviously.
Yeah, too many drugs and alcohols for that.
Never
I
knew
can
that.
remember that.
Nope.
All right, so if someone said they're in Lansing Park, I feel like I could find you. It's not that big a park.
Yes.
So it's probably the same
Okay.
as Central Park, right?
Sure, Bill. Sure, Bill.
Have you ever been to Central Park?
I have been to Central Park.
I have not. Please describe it
It
for me.
is
I like that we're having an argument about Central Park. And
It took me
you two said
3
stop derailing
hours.
the show, and now we're arguing about Central
I have
Park.
never said stop derailing the
It
show.
took me 3 hours to walk from halfway, middle around, and then down to
It's
the
no
end. and
Lansings.
yeah,
It's no
It is
Lansings.
fucking
So
gigantic.
more like a Berkeley Park.
I love Berkeley Park. Big fan. Greenbrier?
Smaller than West End, I feel.
It's like a
It's got
Greenbrier?
baseball fields. It can't be that small.
I don't count them as part of the park. They're the baseball fields.
What's the other park up by your
Greenbrier.
Greenbrier?
It's a Greenbrier?
That little tiny park up there?
Greenbrier? That park rocks
You
now.
know, we were wondering
Really?
we were wondering why we had only like 5 views on every
except
because of that shit.
except for we don't on some.
41 second listens.
15,000 views for 1 second. That makes perfect
Hey,
sense.
isn't that the thing? Just download it. I don't care if you listen.
That's what we said for a long time. Turns out that's wrong. Bad advice.
All right, what were we talking
I
about?
don't know.
Oh yeah, Central Park. We're in Central Park.
Their shitty fucking
So
relationship.
Jane says, he's like, hey, you didn't show up last night like we planned. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Oops.
I'm going to London, like, now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell you that
Tonight,
last night,
today.
but I didn't.
Right now.
So I'm going to tell you now. And then I do like when she gives him a hug and he doesn't hug her back. He
Yeah,
just
that was
stands
good.
there.
I like that. Good
Yeah.
move.
Because at this
Why
point,
would you?
Yeah.
Fuck this chick.
like, I thought they were literally like in an actual relationship.
Well, we'll
No.
find out
Yes.
as we go.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah,
it
I
makes,
thought-
it makes
but-
way more sense
That
that
she
she
would-
doesn't just tell it like
Stop
she like,
being a weirdo.
Yeah.
this is the only time that she
Because
told
I did
right.
at this point think this was a breakup.
Yeah.
Which it kind of, but not really was.
Yeah.
Sure.
So then he goes to the game. So now he's hungover and sad.
Perfect way to pitch.
On his way in, he runs into his old teammate's kid. I think his name is Ken Strout or something.
That is correct.
Strout.
His dad used to play with him. I used to be your bat boy. Now I'm on the Yankees. And he's like, oh, you playing today? He's like, I just got called up. So whatever. We have a meeting. I wonder if that'll come up again.
Dun dun dun.
Then we find out at some point it's just him and John C. Riley in the locker room. I think because he's so late. The rest are already out on the field.
Oh yeah.
There's some weird looking kid just sitting in the corner.
Kid
I like
is the
this.
weirdest
I
looking
like
kid.
this. Let's get the weirdest looking kid.
My God.
They did. They accomplished that.
Like I don't. Did they ever say his name? They just said it's his nephew, right?
Yeah, they
His
just kept
name's
going.
Opie, right?
Wheeler's nephew.
Yeah, his name is
Wheeler's
Opie
nephew.
Wheeler, right?
It's got to be. I'm not looking it up.
So he's like, yeah. John C. Riley says like, yeah, he's the owner's son. He wants to know if you're retiring. Which again, the owner's like, I need to know now.
Yeah.
He's gonna just sit there all game until you give him your decision. And he does. This dumb kid just
Stupid
sits
fucking
there.
kid just sits there forever.
In the dugout or in the locker room. He's not in the dugout watching. He's,
No.
no, he's just sitting in the back in the locker room,
Waiting for an answer.
just sitting around for 2-3 hours, not doing nothing.
Yep. So we waiting to see if he's gonna retire. We then meet Coach J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Great casting.
Finds him warming up. He's got a great mustache in this.
Frank Perry.
He always has.
I don't know if
He
I've ever
doesn't
seen him with a
always
mustache
have.
before.
Doesn't he have one as
J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonas Jameson?
But I don't
What is J.
think
Jonas
he does.
Jameson?
I think he does.
What is that even? What is that from?
The
May-
guy
maybe
from
in,
Spider-Man.
yeah, maybe in the
like,
Raimi movies he does.
The Fox News guy in Spider-Man.
Which Spider-Man?
All
Like
of them.
the Tobey Maguire one.
Yes, I mean he's in. He's in.
He's
I
in
don't
those
know.
3, and then the
He's
the new
also in
one.
the other
the
ones.
new
isn't
one.
he?
He's not in the
His
Andrew
voice. I
Garfield
think his
one.
voice is in the Andrew Garfield one, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. He's
So-
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons comes
J.
over,
Jonah Jameson and everything.
finds him warming up, and he's throwing heat today, throwing gas. and he's like, "Hey, you were late today," and he basically says like, "In 19 years, have I ever not shown up?" He just goes, "Well, that's what everybody can say until the first time they don't show up." And then he says, "Hey, I haven't made a decision because I wanted to talk to you, but I want to sit Gus. I know he's your guy, but he cannot hit, and I want to win this game." And he basically says, no. If Gus doesn't catch, I'm not pitching." And then he throws another
He's
98 mile an hour heat.
throwing heat.
So we're gonna go with it. We see Jane, and she can't seem to avoid the game. She's in the cab, and she's asked the cab driver to shut it off, and he straight up says, "No."
Which I feel like would happen.
It would. I remember once
100%.
day drinking on St. Patrick's Day in Syracuse. Bob and I took a cab back to Lemoyne, and specifically said to him, "Can we shut Shania Twain off, please?" And he said, "No."
Why the fuck would you turn off Shania Twain?
Because didn't feel like listening to it. Allow me to finish the story.
Wait,
Wally.
would you say that don't impress you much? Is that one of her songs?
So
If you had done that, he would have turned it off.
we said, "Can you shut this off?" And he said, "No." So then Bob said, "Well, then can we pick a song at least?" And he said, "All right, fine." So from however long it takes to get from downtown Syracuse to Lemoyne, 15 minutes maybe, Bob and I repeatedly sang, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman"
That's the
at the
correct
cab
one.
driver.
That is the correct one. Yes.
That's the right move.
It was a good time. But yeah, so cab driver says no. She gets to the hotel, or not the hotel, the airport. It's on everywhere. It's in the terminal. It's for some reason.
People care about the Yankees? Yes.
Because they're going to win the pennant.
But also, when's the last time you saw just like a TV instead of like where normally you would see the flight lists and stuff?
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
a TV in the airport,
Because it's the Yankees, Bill.
I guess.
It's important.
This was back in '99, Bill.
They were on fire.
They
Of
were.
course, you're just
That was
putting a
when
Yankee dedicated television
They're
in the
more
airport.
scary then than ever. Whenever they have homegrown talent is when they're actually good. When they have Derek Jeters and Scott Brocious as even though
He was not homegrown.
yeah.
Scott Brochet.
Paul O'Neill's and Bernie Williams. And
Also,
such.
Paul O'Neill not homegrown.
No, where did he
He's
play?
a Cincinnati Red.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
I mean, they traded for him in like '94 or whatever.
So he's
But-
there a while, but yeah.
Okay,
Which is why Judge is a little bit scary.
because he's homegrown.
Like Giancarlo Stanton doesn't do anything, of course.
Nobody's scared of him.
Right. But Judge, it turns out, it's a pretty good ball player.
If you're hitting if you're up 15-1, you should be scared because then I'll hit a home run.
500
Yeah, he'll hit
monster
it.
shot.
That's when you should be scared.
All right. So like Alex Rodriguez, all over again.
He was better.
Oh, crap. He's Omni-Man in Invincible, too. J.K. Simmons.
He's great. He's in a lot.
Have you-
He's the
Invincible?
man.
It's a
The-
superhero cartoon,
cartoon.
movie.
Oh,
Cartoon series.
I thought you were
It's on
talking about
Amazon.
the. Oh, we should probably watch it. The Marky
The
Mark football
Vince
movie.
Papale, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that.
That's definitely on my list. So.
That's it's not on mine, but it will be.
It should
It's a good
be.
one. All right. What are we talking about?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, right. So Gus is going to catch.
Mm-hmm.
Jane can't avoid the game. We're going to start the game, and I guess this appears to be his last start of the season.
It's the last
The
game.
last
of the
game,
season.
yeah.
Oh, this is the last game of the
This
year?
is it.
Okay.
Yeah. And if the Yankees win, they're in.
That's right.
And Detroit, if they win, nothing happens
Nothing
because
happens.
they're
It doesn't
terrible.
matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is just like real life.
Why Vin Scully is calling the Yankees game is
Makes-
beyond me.
it doesn't make any sense.
Love to see Vin.
Love
This
him.
doesn't make any sense,
He's a Dodgers broadcaster.
and has been for 130
Yeah,
years.
since
I
they were in
think?
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Literally.
Roughly 130 years.
But genuinely,
Like-
since they were in Brooklyn.
He was like a 19-year-old kid calling Brooklyn Dodgers
Yeah.
games.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Right. He was there when they moved.
And then for the bulk of his career, he was doing simultaneously the TV and radio broadcasts.
Right. He did do national TV a little bit in like the 80s. He was like the Al Michaels of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know him much better than I would just a random.
He was on national
Dodgers.
TV a little bit.
Yeah.
He was, but then also he
He also
became the
did,
guy
like,
that everyone just loved because he'd been doing
I
it
think
forever.
it was CBS. He was a football play-by-play
Was
guy
he?
on CBS
That's-
for a while.
Yeah.
I think he called basketball too. I think he called one of the Celtics championships.
Ooh, that would probably be good. To
I
listen to.
think. But not only do you get him, you also get your guy, your favorite radio announcer, the Yankees radio announcer, whatever his fucking name is, the guy you hate,
He
and
was in
Susan
this?
Waldman. He was in this too.
He wasn't lying or whatever.
No, but they have like a radio part of it as well.
Oh,
and
I
they-
didn't
we
even-
get our guy.
Thankfully, I didn't catch up on that.
We get our guy.
Whatever his name is.
Whatever his fucking
He
name
is
is.
the worst. The one that... In A-bomb!
John
From
Sterling.
A-Rod!
John Sterling. I can't believe I forgot his name.
He is the worst.
You love him.
No, because he wasn't even good. Besides his dumb home run calls, he wasn't even good at the job. Be like, strike 3, he's out of the... Oh, that was only strike 2.
You mean like when he would go,
Idiot.
it is high, it is far, it is caught at the warning track.
Yeah, like he would do that stuff all the time. And then my favorite though is sometimes he would just decide he doesn't like the Yankees anymore,
Oh, he gets pissed.
and then someone would like boot like a ground
Yeah.
ball. So I'm like, well, this is how the Yankees play defense. You can't win championships this way.
They're flat out bad.
God.
Flat out bad today.
And
you
it,
could-
yeah,
You could turn it on and tell if they were winning or losing based on
absolutely.
how he was calling.
Absolutely, he was like
He's
like,
still going. He's still doing it.
All home announcers are, and to some degree
Homers.
should be homers.
Yes.
Like the Red Sox announcers are too, but he just is the worst to listen to. El Capitan! Like, why? That doesn't make any
There's
sense.
so many worse ones that you're not even mentioning, but
Give me
it's
one.
fine.
Because A-bomb from A-Rod is a text message from Teixeira.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. Text message.
A text
That was
message
one.
from
A
Teixeira.
text message.
Because nothing says monster home run like a text message.
That makes no sense.
No.
None
None
of
of
it
that
makes
makes
sense. That's the
sense.
thing.
And well, okay, A-bomb from A-Rod, that at least makes sense.
Kind
There
of.
were several.
But it was the way he did it.
There
it
was-
was an A-bomb from A-Rod.
There were several like 1940s Broadway plays he would reference in home run calls. Like, who knows this? What are you doing?
And Susie
Susan
was in her own right a
Waldman.
trailblazer,
Sure.
being around like calling baseball games for so long as a woman, but she was also irritating to listen to.
Oh, she can be.
I don't know if she's
She's
always
from
was.
Boston too.
Is she really?
Yeah,
It makes me like her even less.
I know. I figured that. So it makes no sense if Vince Scully's fucking doing this.
But he's Vince Scully.
Also, if it was national TV, they wouldn't be broadcasting Yankees versus worst team ever,
No,
would
they
they?
would not be. No.
Probably not.
Well, unless it's to pinch or to clinch the pennant.
But why are you concerned that they're not going? All right, whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. So he walks out to the mound, starts taking it in. He's staring at the clouds. Get a
What's
little
he-
nostalgia
Why did it
going.
take it so long? What's he doing?
Gus
Look at-
comes out to
look
like,
at the
check
clouds.
on him, says, "How you feeling?" And he says, "Like I'm fine." And then we basically get a, "All right, you and me, one more time."
Oh yeah, because he throws the heat, and Gus is like, "Hey, give me a warning." He's like, "All right, well, here's your warning."
I'm throwing it all day. Throwing this arm out.
You and me, one more time. I don't see why not. So
Love
fans are taunting him. It's loud. And then he initiates what appears to be a superpower that allows him to block everything out. When he
I
says
fucking love
clear
this.
mechanism or something.
Clear the mechanism.
Clear the mechanism. I
Which-
love that.
But what I don't like about that is, A, he says it out loud. He actually says it.
Yes,
But what does clear the mechanism mean?
I don't care.
There's a
But
better
the
name
like
for
idea,
this.
the idea of
The idea I like.
yes,
But when he says aloud, clear the mechanism, I mostly got confused.
okay. So I think they had him say it out loud because if he's just doing a voiceover saying clear
Right.
the mechanism, it's not going to make as much sense. The other thing, clear the mechanism, I agree, doesn't make
What
a
is that?
whole lot of
Yeah.
sense. But it's like, all right, clear your mind,
But
maybe.
And then
But and then everything, like
like
everything
they
that's
focus
blurry.
the camera on just the
Yeah.
hitter.
It's he's super focused. Everything dead silent. I
And
I
like
absolutely loved it.
The camera of the blurring of the crowd and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I do
together.
like the way he talks himself through hitters. Like,
Okay.
all right, you're sitting on curveball.
That's a
all
Bull
right.
Durham thing that they're bringing in. Like
Yeah.
his
Is it?
bit, like his best stuff in Bull Durham is when he's talking himself in the box. Like,
Yeah.
fucking hit off this meat hitter. God damn it! Stop swinging at the curveball. Like, that's his best stuff.
Yeah. So he does like focus himself in. We very quickly meet the bad guy hitter of the movie, Sam Tuttle, which my main concern here is he's the bad guy hitter. Why does he not have any gnarly facial hair?
that.
Why is he
He's too
dripping
He's
chalk?
he's a Yankee. You can't have facial hair.
All
as
right.
a
You can have a
Yankee.
mustache
Then-
though.
yeah, and why doesn't he have just like chewing tobacco dripping out of every orifice?
He's
He's a bad guy
too
baseball.
He's too small to be a super bad guy
That's true.
baseball
Also,
guy.
yes.
Not jacked enough. He
Nope.
didn't get on the roids.
He was no
He was no B.J. Anderson or whatever.
what was the movie?
B.J. Anderson.
Angels in the Outfield.
Yep.
That guy. You just
The Major League movies have a couple of good ones.
Huge
the
guy.
the guy in Rookie of the Year, the Cubs guy.
yeah.
With
oh,
the-
real bad.
that's the one I was thinking of.
okay, that guy's
Yeah.
fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Did we watch that for this show?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
In the
Definitely
first
did.
inning, yes, we did. He strikes out Sam Tuttle. He gives him a little sweet chin music. There's your wrestling time.
Oh, yes.
What I liked about this series was he gives him like 2 for a curve, and he waves it off. So then he gives him 1 for the fastball, and he waves him off. And then he kind of like rolls his eyes and one middle finger down,
Yes.
and he like, "Yep, that's the one."
I love that.
And he throws it at his head.
Yeah.
Then strikes him out with a nasty curveball to end the inning, or
Mhm.
maybe it was the second hit, I don't know, but to get out of it. We start the many of what will become the movie flashbacks that he has.
A lot of flashbacks.
We hear he meets Jane 5 years before in New York. He's driving his car, and he sees a woman on the side of the road kicking her broken down car, and he's
As
like,
you do.
"That'll do it. That fixes it real good."
That's the woman for me. That's what
Yep.
he said.
He comes out and he says like he starts to approach her, and she's like, "Go away! Don't even do this." He's like, "Okay, well, I know him in New York." So she's like, "Wait, do you really know how to fix cars?" And he just laughs at her, doesn't say he does. But he's like, "Let me take a look." So he fixes it, but even he says like, "I didn't really do anything." While they're having this first banter, tow truck guy from The Wire, as we discussed,
Guy from the Dom from Entourage.
Dom from Entourage, yep.
or Carr, right? No, not
Herc.
Herc.
Herc from The Wire shows up, except
from The
with
Wire.
hair.
Yeah, which was weird.
It
That's
took
He
me a
had
while
hair?
to figure out who he was.
Yeah, that's why.
I think that's why it threw me off.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure it out.
I also thought he was the same guy as the guy in the bar who's
No.
just
Oh,
yapping
yeah.
it.
They
Yeah.
do kind of look similar, but
And they
they're
kind
not.
of sound a little similar.
Racist.
So I
Just
was,
because they're white, they look alike, right?
yes.
Wait, are you yelling at me for being racist or him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But basically, everything that he's saying that she's rejecting, the tow truck guy's like, "I'll do it." And he's like, "Do you want to come to a baseball game?" And the guy's like, "If you say no, I'll go." So he invites her to the game, and then she shows up and sits with the wives, and who don't like her right away. But after the game, they go out, and then of course he ends up taking her home and banging her.
Of course.
And in the morning, he basically says, "You can be my New York girl. Next time I'm in town, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Meet me here again." We get back to the game, and now we find out that his former teammate and BFF is on the Yankees. They were pals, so he strikes him out in this one. There's another good sequence where he's talking himself through pitch by pitch. I got you confused now. Strikes him out. We flash back again to meeting number 2, where they basically fight, and she kind of blows him off, but then doesn't. But then they meet up, and then she says, like, "I'm not that kind of girl. This is not what I do." He's like, "What?" Like, so he just goes for a walk with her.
Meanwhile, people are just getting him to sign anything that they have.
Yeah, because he's a big star, and this is again where they're slowly letting on like this dude's like an all timer.
Yeah.
But they end up basically for date number 2, they just take a walk, and then he brings her home and leaves. He calls her from spring training sometime later, and she won't come down. He gets mad at her and says, like, "You keep saying like that I just hang out with groupies, and I'm getting mad now." And he says, "I'm not mad. I'm just pissed off, and I want to kill you."
Oh.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So she won't come down to see her. So obviously he goes to his masseuse and then brings her home.
This is one of my favorite interactions of the movie.
I feel like he's hooked up
Coming
with
up.
the masseuse
Oh, yeah. He's
many
Oh
times.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she basically says like all work and no play, and like
Yeah.
clearly they have something
Yeah,
here.
they've got a
but-
little thing.
So she shows up the next day to surprise him because Jane does, because she was invited down. And she's like, "You're not happy to see me. You don't like this." And he's like, "I just want you to know, when I answered the door, my heart skipped a beat. It did. No matter what happens in the next 5 minutes, I'm very glad to see you."
Oh, boy.
Yep.
The masseuse comes downstairs in her underwear to say, like, "Can I borrow your hairdryer or something?" This doesn't go well, obviously, with Jane. So she runs away. He tries to catch her and say, like, "I didn't know you were coming." And then he, like, the
This
way
is
he
my
handles
favorite.
kind of but he's like, "You told me it didn't matter." And she's like, "Yeah, but it does." And she's like, why is she here? And he's like, I don't want her. Want her. He's like, why is she here? Well, because I like her.
She's a good masseuse.
That's my
He's
favorite.
like, oh, Jesus Christ.
The way he's so frustrated. And he's just like, she's my masseuse. I like her, whatever. Like, get on my back.
Yeah.
I know you just flew down here and I fucked you over, but what am I supposed to do? Not fuck her?
So she leaves. That does not go well, obviously. We go back to the game. He gets through another inning. And quickly we get back into another flashback. One of his teammates playing baseball pulls a Canseco. Gives up a home run off of his head.
Yep.
So we see him in the locker room, and the guy's like, oh, they're already making fun of me, and like he's just making jokes about it. And he basically says, like, it's not a joke. Don't let them make fun of you. Next time we're in Boston, I'll help you. We'll like play the wall together or whatever. And gives them some advice. And then somebody in the locker room's like, old school, man. He's right what he's saying. Jane calls him and basically is freaking out and says, sorry, I haven't talked to you in a while. My daughter ran away from home and she's in Boston where you happen to be right now. Mm-hmm. He's like, what did you say?
I'll explain later. Just go get her.
But she's like, you're in Boston. My daughter's in Boston. You forget me calling my ex. You go get her. Basically, she went to her dad's house, but he's not in town. He's out of town or something. So she's, somewhere between 11 and 16. It's kind of unclear. She's got to be closer to 16 because she's in college not that long after this. But,
Right.
Yeah.
But
she's in college when in his final season.
Right.
Right.
But the whole relationship is 5 years long.
Yeah.
So-
So maybe she's like, maybe she's closer
So
to like
she's
13 or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so he goes to wherever she is, finds her. She very quickly is comfortable, like presumably has talked to her mom, but is very comfortable just going with this strange man onto the team bus where he picks her up. Brings her home. Her name is Heather. She seems to like him immediately. So they eventually do get home. Jane invites him in, shows him around her apartment, hooks up with him again. And it seems to be the start of an actual relationship.
And he's into the family thing.
Yeah.
He likes it.
They play board games. They decorate Christmas trees. It's a thing. So we get a little bonding montage. And I like during one of their phone conversations, she keeps saying, like, would you still like me? Would you still like me? And she says, what if my face was all scraped off and I was totally disfigured and had no arms and legs and I was completely paralyzed? Would you still love me? He says, no. But we could still be friends, though.
Mm.
That was really good.
She loved it, too.
Yeah.
She loved that.
So we go back to real time, and he's dealing. He's like, they basically say like he's catching his groove. He's struck out 3 of the last 5 batters, or whatever. Then he fields a comebacker right at his head. We go to the 6th inning, and Gus, who's a terrible hitter, gets a double by legging out kind of a misplayed ball in the outfield. And they say like he hasn't legged out a double in like 15 years. He eventually does come around to score, so it's 1-0. It's the only run of the game thus far.
He gets waved home too.
Yeah. He's chugging out there.
Yeah.
We go to an off-season flashback, and we see him in, I don't know, the mountain in the Rockies, somewhere
in the winter.
into winter. He mauls his hand on a table saw.
Why is he doing woodworking?
Why not?
Also,
What are you doing?
They show him being smart enough to
Use
use
a stick?
the stick to
So
put.
what happened?
Yeah, what the fuck did you do, man?
Don't know.
Oh, I fucked up the stick.
But he walks
so-
out and he's dripping blood and says like, I can't feel anything.
Yeah.
There's also like no reason he has. Like, what is he doing? Why is this what he does in his spare time?
Yeah, he's
Seems like a
things.
big mistake if you're a pitcher to do anything with your hands like that. But okay.
So Jane saves him, gets him to a hospital, then convinces the doctor to actually look at him, where they decide he has to be airlifted to Denver, to some real hospital.
Did you notice who
Is
the
this
doctor?
not
Number one, did you notice who
America?
the doctor was?
I recognize him, but I didn't.
Jin from
Oh, that's what it is.
from
Yeah,
Lost.
from Lost. Yeah,
Number
yeah.
2, he says to her as he's dying, bleeding out, getting loaded into the helicopter, call Mike or whatever the trainer.
the trainer.
He's the most important person in my life.
Yeah. He's the
she's
most
just
important
like,
thing for me right now.
What the fuck?
And she's just standing there like,
Oh my god!
I just saved your life, motherfucker.
What are you talking about, Kevin
So-
Costner?
It's his pitching hand that he's caught, so everybody basically, including the trainer, thinks his career is over. But he decides he's going to come back. The best way to do so is by being a real jerk to Jane
And everyone else.
and everyone.
Just being a
But he
dick.
like smashes up the bathroom,
He's
throws
mad.
her stuff, and then tells her to leave, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so she does. He's like, "But why are you leaving?"
Not great.
We go back to the game, and he very clearly hurts his shoulder. He throws a pitch, something doesn't feel right, and now, but he like waves off the catcher and says like, "Don't even bother coming out here." So at this point, I get annoyed because Vince Scully starts and continues the rest of the movie to talk about he's working on a perfect game. He's got a perfect game going. Can he hold out for this perfect game?
No,
Yeah.
that is
And
not
Vince Scully
Scully's
would
way.
not ever do this.
No.
Yeah.
And they show like the team not sitting next to him in the dugout, which is how
Yes,
really would
that's-
happen.
I like in the 8th inning, we'll eventually get to it, where he's like, oh.
Yeah.
You didn't even know. Yeah.
But Vin, this is what I don't like. They make Vince, in part, to give just the
He just narrated
exposition.
this movie,
But Tuttle comes back up, the big bad hitter, and like a real son of a gun,
yeah.
lays down a bunt.
He's a real prick.
Yes.
He's a power hitter who lays down a bunt to break
Yep.
up the no
To
hitter.
break up the no hitter, and especially because he sees he's hurt his shoulder. But they get him out at first anyways. Chappell makes a great play off the mound to come field it.
Cat-like.
Yep.
Cat-like off the mound.
Hurts himself further throwing to first, but he gets him. And even I do like that they show the Yankee fans going, "What are you doing, bunting? We need a run."
Uh-huh.
They get the Yankee fans perfectly in this movie, I feel.
It's not bad.
They're not dirty enough. They should be grosser human beings.
Wow, that's not cool.
We get a little Bob Seger, which must mean it's time
Yeah.
for more flashbacks.
Is this against the wind here?
It sure is.
Oh, I
Against the
love
wind
it.
here.
Which flashback is
Against the
this?
wind.
This is the one where he's struggling to get back on the field. He can't feel his hand when he's throwing pitches. And then he decides, I need to go surprise Jane. I'm going to go to
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
art
yeah.
show she's at.
Yeah.
But basically, we find out she's dating her editor or her something.
Yeah.
She's there with another guy.
her editor, I
And
think.
she's like, "You didn't call me." He's like, "I called you." She's like, "You called me 3 times in the last like 6 months."
Yeah.
Like, so then she leaves with the guy that she's there with. So like any bad teen movie, he goes and stands outside her window in the rain and just stares.
Great.
She does eventually see him out there and just closes the blinds and ignores him, as you ought to do. We now go back to the bottom of the 8th inning. We're getting towards the end of the game. It's getting real now. And as he takes the mound, Billy Chappell realizes that no one's been on base.
Just
hey,
now.
Hey, Gus, anybody been on base today? No.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I haven't seen this much." And Billy's like, "Yeah, me either." He's like, "I've never seen this." And then he does give him a nice John C. Reilly pep talk where he basically says, "The team will not let you down.
Yeah.
We're the best team in baseball right now because of you.
Mhm.
Like, all the boys are here for you. Just throw whatever you got." Because he says, like, "I don't think I got anything left." But he clearly doesn't. He's thrown 3 straight balls. He's going to walk them. Coach J.K. gets some guys up in the bullpen. Says, like, "I know what's happening right now, but just in case, let's get somebody warmed up." So
Is this where he couldn't focus? Or is that the 9th?
that's the 9th.
That's only
Now
the
he
9th, okay.
focuses on, he has memory of his dad.
Okay.
And his dad's saying, like, just throw it over the plate. So that's what he does. He thinks about his dad. He gets back on track. The team makes a couple of great plays behind him, including his old pal is up to plate again. Hits a big one, and the outfielder goes up and takes away a home run.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey Hart.
The one who Jose Canseco did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he robs a home run, gives a hat tip. Even the batter sort of gives him a hat tip on his way off the field.
Was this his old teammate?
His old friend and
Yeah,
teammate, yeah.
yeah.
And he says something like, "You're the one I'm going to miss the most," or something like that.
Mhm. I'll miss you most, Scarecrow. That's what he said because
Scarecrow.
it's the Wizard of Oz line.
Oh, okay.
I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.
No, I didn't pick up on that. But
Yeah.
yeah. We see that Jane's daughter's even watching this. Instead of partying at college, she's watching the baseball game. Jane's about to board her flight, and then just Says like, no, I'm going to watch the baseball game instead. And says like, give my seat to somebody else. We get another quick flashback of him running into Heather, the daughter, when he's on a road trip in California and she's in college. And they basically say like, I miss you.
Mm.
So before he takes the field in the ninth, he calls the trainer over and says, you got a pen? He writes something on a baseball and says, give it to that that weird dopey-looking kid in the dugout.
Weird-ass kid.
Give him this.
And I think he does say the weird the kid who's just hanging in the dugout.
Yeah.
Because the guy's like, who?
Yeah. So he sends a baseball up to the owner that basically says he's retiring. We don't know that yet, but he sends a baseball up. So we got 3 outs to go. And they kind of, again, shadow like, this is probably his last inning ever. What a way it would send him out. And then we see the kid, Trout, or whatever his name is. Trout, that's on the Yankees.
Yeah, the kid from the beginning.
That was called up. The manager says to him, hey, get a bat. You're pinch hitting for one of the guys here.
Yep.
And then we go to the owner, and he looks at the baseball, and it says, tell them I'm through for the love of the game.
Yep.
The worst childlike signature ever for Billy Chappell.
Yep.
So he just retired, I guess. So this is it. Pinch hitter comes up to start the inning, and then he has a little prayer here that I actually liked because he said, like, God, I swear I'd never bring you into baseball. It just seemed too silly. But then he doesn't pray for the win or anything. He just says basically, like, please just can you take away this pain for 10 minutes? He tries to block out. He uses ignite mechanism or whatever. And it doesn't
Clear
work.
The
the
mechanism.
mechanism.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. He can't block it out now. It's too real. So he just takes a deep breath and says, like, all right, here we go. John C. Reilly calls for a curveball, and he says, like, can't do that. Don't have that anymore. Because of his shoulder. Ends up making the third baseman makes a diving stop behind the bag and a huge throw to get the first out. 2 away. Next batter comes up. He hits a monster foul down the line.
This is
Trout.
this is the
Trout's
third batter
the
you said?
Trout's the last batter.
Yeah,
No,
this is
the second
Oh,
batter.
we're at the second one. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hits a big foul ball down the line.
Right.
And then John C. Reilly calls for another curveball, and he's like, no, he knows that I can't throw that because of my shoulder. And then he's like, oh, he knows I can't throw that. All right, this is going to hurt. Throws a curveball, strikes him out looking. Got 1 batter left. And, of course, it's his old teammate's kid. Stroud comes out for his first major league at-bat.
Got to throw it out there, you know?
Yeah.
Do or die, make the pennant. You put your rookie who never used
Rookie
before.
who has
Yeah.
never been in.
Well, that he's like they did mention something like, well, the kid probably doesn't understand how big
Still,
this is. He
if
doesn't
you
care
were
about
a
it.
manager and you put out
Which also,
in that position, that
if
guy,
that kid is 9 years old or more and he's a baseball fan and his dad was a baseball player,
Yeah.
he knows how important this is.
Yeah. But he's
Sure.
they're
Right.
like, he's cocky enough not to
Yeah.
yeah.
so this manager got fired immediately after this.
You would think, yeah. So he comes up and even he acknowledges it though and goes like, all right, of course, let's do this. Ends up hitting a high chop over the mound, the kind of real annoying single that you'd beat out that everyone would hate. Goes off his glove. But the shortstop makes a huge diving play behind the bag, throws the first, and gets him by like 2 steps. It's not
Yeah.
even like a
Yeah.
dramatic just beat him. Beats him by like 2 steps. So he's thrown his perfect game in his last start ever. And then we get the line from Vin Scully. The cathedral that is Yankee Stadium belongs to a chapel. So it shows everybody cheering. He gets lifted up on shoulders. They go out to celebrate, and Gus gets real yammed up.
Yeah, he does.
Like he's getting helped back to the room.
I like
And
this.
he leans him against the wall to just open the door. He's like, this is a good spot. I'll just sit down here.
It's good.
It's a great drunk acting right there.
Yep. Perfect.
Gets him into bed, and he says, like, thank you. And he's like, yeah, you're welcome. He's like, I'm not talking about the game, or I'm not talking about this. He's like,
Yeah.
I know. We get a nice. John C. Reilly was probably the MVP of this. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh.
Billy, instead of being happy on this biggest night of his career, just goes home and to his hotel room and cries like a little girl.
Well, he realizes he's done.
Yep. Which this was, and he's crying clearly about both his career and also his love life. But the next day we see him at the airport, and he's going to fly to London, see if he can't track Jane down. But he runs into her in the airport, and she says, like, oh, there's this baseball game last night. I got caught up watching.
Mm-hmm.
So they are both there for each other at this point, but still we must bicker. We can't just have a nice scene.
Nope.
But after they bicker...
I feel like they broke up right after this.
Yeah.
Right after this reconciliation, he said something stupid.
Because they break up, but then they get back together, and they make out real hard in the airport. And
They
all the
love
people
making
walking
out
by
real
them
hard.
are like uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
Hooray! They're back together until they break up. I don't know. I thought it was a decent movie. I liked it.
Yeah,
It was
it's good.
fun. It was
It's
a good
fun.
movie. I really enjoyed it actually.
I feel like
A couple of weird things, but
it
it's good. It's a
Yeah.
solid movie.
was less sport than I hoped. But it was interesting. like
Long
we said,
chunks of romance.
the concept of like just one game and not a season
Just
or a
one
career or
game.
whatever.
It's not for the pennant. Your team sucks.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
how
so
you use
very
those
interesting.
flashbacks. You don't use them just for like 2 or 3 things through. Use it the entire fucking movie. Otherwise, it's just like an annoying. Oh, flashback to this. I'm like fuck that. Like I would rather have the whole thing be in continuity, or I'd rather have you flashback the way they did for this movie.
Yeah, where he was
Just
thinking
like
about different things.
Yeah.
Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's back and forth, back and forth, back and
Flashback
forth, back and
City.
forth.
Did that end on a good note? To like,
They could have kept going.
I know they could have, but were we excited for them to keep going? I feel like
I don't
no,
think
right?
we
Well,
were.
you guys weren't. I was kind of interested. I was very
We
interested to see like the
As
fight.
someone who's disappointed by a lot of shows on Netflix,
You were very
getting canceled,
disappointed by a lot of things.
This one I was fine to let go.
You let that one go. All right, Quote Mountain.
For me, it's clear the mechanism, but have at it.
It might be that. The chapel line is weird.
The cathedral. That
Tell
is in
them
the
I'm
city.
through for the love of the game. I'm throwing it out. I like this exchange. It's probably not going to win, but you don't lose very much. I've lost 134 times.
Yeah.
You count them. We count everything.
Yeah, it's baseball. We count everything.
Yeah.
I like that, but that's not Quote Mountain. Clear the mechanism.
The ones I liked were the, what was it? I like wrote it right in here. Let me see.
You ever get your heart broken? Yeah, when we lost the pennant in '87.
Yeah. I've got the ugliest wife in the league. That hurts. Hurt my feelings. Buckle your seatbelt.
I need a regular guy, not a guy in Old Spice commercials. That was right card.
What? It was Raycar commercials.
Speaking metaphorically.
He does get a couple Yankees.
Or the, No, but
Attacks.
we could still be friends, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the movie, I think I really liked this movie because I really wasn't sure if he was going to get the perfect game
I thought
or
that
if they
the
were going to
kids-
break it up.
The kid, the guy's son, I thought was going to break it up.
Exactly, and that's why I think I enjoy this movie more so than other movies like it, because usually you can kind of see where everything's going. You're like, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and they did actually keep me guessing about this, so I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. It was good.
So what's our quote here?
It's probably Clear the Mechanism, but I like
Yeah.
this exchange too on the when the manager comes out to check on him. He says, "You hurting? No. How long? 10 years."
What do you want? I want you to pat me on the fanny. Go
wait,
sit down.
Wait, you didn't pat me on the fanny.
Where's my
Where's my pat? I like that exchange as well.
And then he comes back into
He
frame,
gives a little.
pats him.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm not going to read
Love
the
it.
full featured review here, but there's one about. It starts. Boy, is this a movie for New York Yankee haters?
Yeah.
As he but that's not really what this is. But then there's blah
There's
blah
some
blah blah
Yankee
blah. My only complaint, besides the overuse of the Lord's name in vain, is that there weren't more baseball scenes in it.
Besides the Lord's name in vain. Go fuck yourself.
There's a big romance angle in here between Costner and Kelly Preston. Some of that was good, some was annoying. Neither of those characters were particularly appealing.
Okay. Well, all right.
Oh, here you go. What was very cool, if you have a good surround system, was the sound of Costner's fastball hitting the catcher's mitt. The loud whoosh sound was awesome.
I've jerked off to it.
I guess I was going to read that whole thing, basically.
I've got an error for us that's pretty interesting, actually, in my opinion.
Oh.
Vin Scully.
An error? What?
The fact that he's the Yankees manager.
Oh, no. Baseball has a rule saying that any
Oh,
player
yeah.
who has been in the
Yeah.
major leagues for 10 or more years has has played the last 5 or more consecutively with the same team has a full no trade clause. So they literally could not have traded Kevin Costner.
It's true.
So you're
Unless you
saying
want him
Brian
to.
Cox, the guy from Succession, lied to him?
He's
Yes.
I told you. He was a jerk.
Brian Cox, the
Jerk
guy
woman.
from X2. Thank you
I was
very
gonna
much.
say, yeah, the bad guy and everything.
Brian Cox, the guy from I don't know.
X2
Ringer.
X2 is a movie you've seen
Yes.
because we used to watch it all the time.
I watched-
with DVD. in
Like
college.
yeah, 2 or 3 of the X-Men.
Yeah,
And then I never saw the one where they time travel or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
I gave up before then.
Yeah, that one's okay. All right. We did some goose and we did some stats. We did the quote mountain, clear the mechanism.
Yep.
Did we do most valuable player here and sweep it as John C. Riley?
It's either Costner or John C. Riley, I would think.
I think it's John C. Riley. He brings the heart.
He does.
brings. He
fine
brings.
with me, yeah.
He
I
brings the
think John
funny.
C. Riley's the answer here.
I think he's the answer. It's never the fucking main character. So
And
How many main characters do we have? One?
maybe
thus far?
one. Maybe one.
what is it,
Lebowski?
Sinsky?
Lebowski.
Let's
Gene
see.
Sinsky.
Gus Sinsky.
Gus, yes.
Hamilton
Gene Snitsky.
Porter, Fulton, Evil Koshake, Robert
No, that's
Stack.
combining 2 different people.
Who's Robert Stack in basketball?
No, he's not. He's a bit
Okay.
player.
Robert Stack is the murder or the unsolved mysteries.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, that's right.
If only he would come and kiss me right and hold me right now. I would be his girlfriend.
Herb Brooks from Miracle.
Okay. Well,
Main
he's the
character. Main
yeah.
character.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one.
Semi-pro Dick Pepperfield. No, that's
Nope.
not. Billy Bean in Moneyball.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2.
Herman Boone. There's 3 for Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Jules and Bend It Like Beckham. Is Jules which one was Jules? Was Jules
She
Keira
was
Knightley?
Keira Knightley. I think,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So no, I don't really count her. Tom Selleck's mustache.
Oh, main character.
Oh,
That's main
yeah,
character.
main character.
3.5. I'll
Main
give it.
character.
Uh,
Tom Selleck's mustache.
Doug Glatt and Goon. So that's 4.5.
Okay, so there's been
Okay.
some.
All right. There's been a lot more than I thought.
Big
I-
Ern McCracken and Kingpin.
He's
No,
not.
He's
the
no.
main
not.
guy.
Yeah.
No. Joe LaMotta. Wait, Joey. Is that the brother?
The brother, not
The
the
brother,
main
Okay,
guy.
yeah.
okay.
Pesci.
Jimmy Dugan from A League of Their Own.
Nope, definitely not, because the girl
No.
is
Yeah, the main
Okay.
character. What's her name?
And then the dude. So you got like 6
6 out of
So
28.
we're,
out of 28.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're hitting like
pretty-
200 on that.
It's a pretty low score.
Um,
right. Final verdict?
Yeah. I'm going to give it, since I always go last, I'm going to give it 7.7.
Was way higher.
I
enjoyed it.
really
I-
enjoyed this movie.
I'm gonna
yes.
give it a 6.2.
Ooh, boy.
It's a good movie, but I don't know that I would watch it. At
What number do I have to come up with to make this math work for
We
you?
got a little bit of a gap
I
here.
mean, it's 7.0.
Wow.
7.0.
I like it.
I liked it, but not like you guys did.
I liked it.
Like for me, this was a solid one-time watch, but I don't care to go.
I
back
could
to
watch it again. I think I could.
This is a very sexy 6.96.
Oh, that
repeating.
makes perfect sense for
So
this
you're
movie.
gonna round that up to a 7, or you,
Yeah. Well,
You
let's
don't-
let's
you
round
don't
it up
do
to a
rounding.
7.
No, let's
Where?
keep it as 6.9999999
Yeah, I think keep it at 6.9.
because it's a sexy movie.
6.9 out of 10.
which puts it. That's still top 10.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's in the upper
5,
echelon.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It's not in the
12,
upper echelon.
It shouldn't be.
13,
Though.
14.
It shouldn't be
It's
upper echelon.
tied for 15th.
With what? What's it tied with?
Kingpin.
See,
Hmm.
it's too high. It's too high.
The rent's too damn high. Okay, next review is on me, right? So we have to spin and we'll make a deal.
Yes, it is.
I'll just-
and
Cut this out. It's baseball. Well, I
Nope.
picked baseball.
Not
Nope.
for me, he doesn't.
it's gonna be
It's gonna be May.
Don't do that.
That was a gift twice today at work.
Please don't do that.
Twice today at work.
Twice
it,
today?
it already is May though. You
Twice.
I
can't-
know. That's why you
Come
make
on,
that joke
spin it.
today.
No, you're
You're
supposed
pro
to
this
make
joke?
it yesterday.
No, not really. But that's
Okay.
this is what I deal with
Gonna
every
say.
single day.
Oh, just barely into hockey.
Oh.
Oh, what?
I think I've done one hockey.
We've done a total of like 2 or 3.
Never mind. I got it. D2, the Mighty Ducks 2.
That's
We've
the one
done
that
3.
was because I have other ones, but
Easy.
they're never
Easy.
available.
Easy. D2, the
So-
Mighty Ducks 2. 100%.
Episode 29 will be D2, the Mighty Ducks.
Which is maybe my favorite.
I remember
It's
enjoying
probably
it.
the best of them.
Is it the best?
Yeah.
I remember
If not,
liking
it's
this
the
one a
first,
lot.
maybe, but-
I remember liking this one a lot.
Oh yeah, the third one's terrible.
And this one they bring in more like they bring in
Julie the Cat.
Oh
yeah, Julie the Cat.
Right there, you already win.
They bring in
Yeah.
the dude from Sandlot.
Yeah, the Sandlot kid. Yeah.
They bring in the he skates real fast but can't stop.
Oh, that's the same. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
it's the same kid.
never.
Yep. Same kid.
Uh,
Same
that
character.
together.
Same character
Yep,
and everything.
same character.
Yeah.
They bring in the cowboy,
Yep.
Cowboy.
the other Bash brother. We get the actual
Yeah, right.
advent of the
yeah,
Bash
right.
brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why this
You
movie
get
is better.
Kenny Wu.
Kenny
No,
Wu
Kenny was already there,
involved.
wasn't
No,
he? Yeah, he was a figure skater in the first one. wasn't
no,
he?
that was the Pete and Pete kid. His sister was the figure
No,
skater.
this
in the
one
first
we
movie.
do lose the Pete and Pete kid, I think.
We do,
We
and we
do.
lose his sister. You keep the
Okay.
other girl though.
Do we lose
We keep the Wet Hot American Summer girl, right? She's in
I
this.
think so.
Connie?
Yeah.
I think so. But we lose Jesse, don't we? The black kid that was like mad,
Yes.
rightfully mad the whole first
Yes.
We
movie.
lose Jesse, but does he come back in the third one? Can't remember.
We still have Guy, right?
We've got
Guy's
Guy.
there.
Guy's always there. Yep.
Guy Germain.
Do we still have Aberman?
Yes,
Averman-
of course.
Oh, yeah, Averman's
You need
there for
Aver-
all
You
three.
can't do a Mighty Ducks
Averman's
thing
there
without Averman.
for the Disney reboot.
He's
as
in
well,
everything.
so-
Yeah, that guy's
Goldberg,
He's got to be
obviously.
there.
Go
There's
Goldberg.
another new character that I'm forgetting, I feel like.
Yeah.
Banks is there. Banks, is
still
back.
there, yeah.
It's a great one.
It's
There's just the four of them that they take on.
Keenan.
Keenan comes in.
Oh, with the knuckle,
Knuckle
puck.
puck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Knuckle
of
Puck.
course.
Come on. We were just named like 14 things about this movie and how good it is.
Oh no,
All right.
I never said it wasn't good. I'm not sure that it's better than the first one.
Oh,
We're
it
going to
is.
find
It
out.
is.
But
We're
we
going
are-
to find out.
I guess we should watch it and find out.
Mathematically, we will find out.
That's true.
And we're not here next week.
We are
even though we've taken
most
several
likely
weeks off.
taking a
Most
week off.
likely.
99.
2 out of 3 of us could make it, but probably should make it.
Yeah. So we'll be back at a time to be named later. All right. We're done. Peace out.
Because I think I